Mazz, you have a baseball-related item, don't you?
I do. I have a baseball-related item, and I will share this quickly. So there was recently a story by Evan Drellick in The Athletic. I think it was yesterday, but it goes back to a week ago when, if you remember, ESPN announced that it would not be sticking with MLB through the remainder of its contracts. They're going to opt out of their existing broadcast deal at the end of 2025. Now, let me just give you some of the particulars. Ultimately, what you need to know is this. When ESPN goes out, every team loses $18 million, okay? It's a $550 million TV deal per year, approximately $18 million per team. That's $18 million that every team gets out of the gate just for showing up, okay? $18 million. So that's $18 million that teams like the Red Sox are going to lose. Now, Evan Drellick spoke to the people with the Atlanta Braves organization because of the way it's set up in Atlanta. Their books are open. The information is public.
Is it a public company?
So I think it is, Mike. I don't know about the corporate structures, and I can read it. It's in the story.
Well, if it's a publicly traded company, their books have to be
so
open.
Maybe that's what it is, we can get to that part of it. But he has details on the Braves' revenue and whatnot. So I just want to give this to people quickly. Baseball revenue, and this is in 2024, for the Braves. Baseball revenue was reported to be up 2% at $595 million. That was the revenue of the Atlanta Braves. Mixed-use development, which comes from the team's real estate around the stadium, separate category, was up 14%. Now, that number is relatively small, but the point is business was up in Atlanta. 2% in ballpark revenue, 14% in stuff around the ballpark. And again, the Red Sox own much of the property around Fenway Park. Forbes valued the Braves at $2.8 billion last year, which is up $900 million from where it was 3 years prior. The Red Sox, just so you know, are averaged, or are valued rather, at $4.5 billion. So the Red Sox are valued at more. I think they're a more successful franchise. So the point is the Red Sox are making money over there, which leads me to, which we know, but I just want to give you the numbers, which brings me to this comment from Tony Clark, the director of the Players Association, the union. And believe me, I am no Tony Clark fan. I think the guy's in over his head, but on this one, I agree with him. Quote, so a team outside a top 5 media market without a massive local TV deal can run a $280 million payroll, lose in the wild card round, and still make a $40 million profit, Clark said. And that doesn't account for other revenue. Never mind that their overall franchise value has gone up over $900 million in just 3 years. So again, the Red Sox can't pay the luxury tax? The Red Sox, in other years, it took them 6 years of failure, 5 or 6 years of failure or mediocrity to get to the point where fans got angry enough and they felt like they finally had to do something and put a competitive team on the field. How much do you think the Red Sox franchise values have gone up in the last, call it 5 years? I'm willing to bet they still went up despite the performance of the team. And again, go back to the time they bought the team under this ownership, $770 million or thereabouts. It's now worth $4.5 billion. And if you go by the metric of the Braves, they're turning a profit over there every year. Every year. So can we stop with the nonsense that the Red Sox have to cut payroll because costs are exorbitant and the analysts are costing more money, or there are projects going around the ballpark, which still generate their own revenue? It's a myth. They're making plenty of money. They're doing fine. They owe you the team.
Red Sox on the board at 617-779-0985. Murray.
A lot of buzz out of the combine for corner/wide receiver Travis Hunter, maybe falling to the Patriots with that 4th overall pick. Had Phil Perry, NBC Sports Boston, say that very thing yesterday. Today on Mass Live, you have Karen Garisian writing the following. Defensively, the Patriots believe the best cornerback in the draft is Travis Hunter. Offensively, the Patriots believe the best wideout in the draft is Travis Hunter. Great, right? Like, seems like he might be one of the only blue chip prospects in the draft. This is what I have believed. Not so fast. Who is it that's been doing the homework and scouting for the Patriots on one Travis Hunter? Turns out Elliot Wolf, was more than happy to tell Evan Lazar of Patriots.com during an interview yesterday out in Indy. Hit it, Jimmy.
With Travis Hunter, I wanted to ask you about him specifically because I find it so fascinating that is it almost like evaluating two separate players because he can play two different positions? Like, how do you kind of scout him?
It is, and not to give anything away, but Matt Groh actually wrote two separate scouting reports on him when he went to Colorado this year. He has one wide receiver report and one corner report. Now, he's the only one that did that. Everyone else kind of tried to jam everything into the space that we had. But, it's tough when you're talking about a player that does so many different things to try to fit it all in there.
I now feel worse about him. Matt Groh is the one doing the homework for the Patriots on Travis Hunter, the guy who gave us Tyquan Thornton and then defiantly defended the pick. Like, are you out there crunching tape? Gonna get fast, guys. And until proven otherwise, I'm going to believe the guy who's also partially responsible for drafting other such stiffs at the position like Jalen Polk and Javon Baker. This is who's doing the homework on Travis Hunter. How can you not be pissed upon hearing this? Because, one, I did, because it immediately now raises a red flag to me on Travis Hunter, because this nerd's in love with him. And two, it further cements my theory that Matt Groh, Wolf, I'm still worried that they're in the building, and I'm going to be until further notice. They're not just printing out the TPS reports. They're not fetching coffee. They have a say, and they have a voice, and I want to know why. And I don't think it's good. Yes, it's probably Vrabel's decision, but they're going to clash at some point, and I don't feel good about it, and I don't think you should either. And just another clip I did want to play from Patriots.com, from this sit-down Wolf did with it was Mike Dussault and Evan Lazar. I thought it was very telling regarding what he thought about Gerard Mayo. Pay attention to this. This is his answer when he was asked how it's been going with Mike Vrabel so far.
I had never had like a meaningful conversation with him until the interview process, and it's been really good. Like, he's so genuine and authentic. He has a vision for the team. None of it's fluff or BS. Like, I'm really encouraged and excited to be working with him.
Genuine and authentic, vision for the team. None of it's fluff and BS.
Ooh.
Thank you, man. I don't know how you can hear that. Be like, oh, you hated Mayo.
None of it's fluff or BS. Like, I'm really encouraged and excited to be working with him.
How's that knife in your back, Gerard? That's I mean, this clip was sent to me by Gasper.
So you did what I did, yeah.
Yeah, this clip was sent to me by Gasper, who's going to want to talk about this in an hour about the Travis Hunter and Matt Groh part. But I heard that in the beginning. I was like, oh.
Fluff or BS. Like, I'm really encouraged and excited to be working with him.
It's like Josh Allen talking about the Buffalo receiving corps. Remember that when he said, we don't have any divas, guys who demand the ball. It's just a bunch of...
After Diggs was
Yeah, exactly. Once Diggs was out of the picture. Oh, anyway, go ahead.
But another clip that I think he's a worm. And I don't like that he's in the building. I really don't. He should have been gone with Mayo.
Football, of course, on the table, 617-779-0985. My opening take will just be quickly. I think after the Bruins lost last night, Brad Marchand waved the white flag with one of his post-game comments. I'm curious if Don Sweeney and the team's going to follow suit.
If you like that clip, check out more videos from Felger and Mazz here. For more Red Sox analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.